My man, Drew, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
You're in the middle of all of this, everything that's going on right now. It is crazy. We all know that. And now we're thankfully able to start talking at least a little bit about what comes next. And it doesn't mean it's any easier, but to even be able to say it's okay to start talking about what's next. It's been full on crisis mode, rapid response mode for a number of weeks and months now. So now we can at least start a little bit thinking about what that looks like. So I'm curious, what has worked for you and your team? What tools have you been using, and what are you thinking about now as you're starting to just think about like, hey, what comes next?
Sure, and thanks for the opportunity. So really understanding how we've learned to work together in different locations, being able to be nimble in being able to provide the right amount of care to ensure safety. Those are always paramount, but now what, right? So how do we extend what we've learned? Involves a few things. One, the continuous measurement of things that we've had in place, that we now have in place, and extending that out. So everything from real-time chat and making that available 24/7, having 24/7 access to the phone so that people, when they need to reach out, we are there for them. Understanding that the websites we put up are critical in providing useful information that's timely and relevant, that we're going to continue to do. And as telemedicine becomes more a traditional way of doing business, to really embrace that as a service offering, and not just as an additive, but to embrace it as a way of reaching populations and audiences who may not have the time or availability or the physical means to be present, yet they still need care. With us, CRM is a core part of the digital strategy and the organizational strategy. So we kind of embrace that together. So understanding our population, being able to reach them based on their propensity and need for certain types of treatment and eventually procedures and possibly surgeries, understanding the likelihood, not just from a clinical base, but from a lifestyle base as well, and being able to be thoughtful about the messaging and the language we use. So it's no longer about a shotgun approach, but really about catering to people and delivering on preferences that they've told us. So by measuring intent, we can deliver the right amount of care. And as we get back to speed, if you will, being able to prioritize that based on operational safety and necessity. Some people were putting off things 30 days before the pandemic, and now they're 120 days out. How do we get our most critical care delivered? So utilizing digital tools to communicate and to listen, if you will, to people, that will help us continue to kind of adjust the cadence. And having the humility to iterate. Not everyone has the best idea, but it could be a good enough idea, and to test it out there. And from a user experience perspective, we talk about A/B testing all the time. Well, A may be all you have right now, but B can happen right after. So don't wait for it to bake completely if the necessity is to communicate. As long as it's the right information, get it out. It may not be the most perfect package, but its sincerity and its relevancy is what it's going to be measured on. So using those tools to deliver on that. So an example would be the first website we put up around coronavirus was pretty much just the facts. It was helpful. We had links to the CDC for more information, and then we created what we would traditionally call a microsite, a full-blown experience for people to be able to get the right information, learn from our leaders, from videos, be able to learn from information regarding patient care and where to go, be tested. And so this information had more to do with where you were in your journey, and being able to deliver on that. And going forward, I think we'll continue to learn from that, but having the ability to use a self-checker on the website, being able to have a 24/7 chat with our digital first team in the Access Center, to really be able to allow people to ask those questions that are top of mind for them.
Yeah, that was the key for them. It's not going to be the same for everybody. And so that's, it's so important. And I think we're seeing a lot of things playing out in real time now. We're all getting a better understanding of what's possible. And I hope, and I feel like as an industry, we're going to build on that, and MarTech itself and what's possible, the types of communications, the type of diversifying that communication is going to look a lot different 12 to 18 months from now than it did at the beginning of this year. So that's encouraging. I could say, for myself, one of the other silver linings has been reconnecting with so many people in the community, right? I mentioned, you and I first met at an HCIC several years ago, and I found myself reaching out and connecting with colleagues that probably I first met, on Twitter or LinkedIn, somewhere virtual, but then we met in person at a conference. And now it's been one of those times where I'm like, I'm just glad I know other people who I can reach out to, and just they can check on me, I can check up on them. What's that been like for you? Like, how have you leaned on the community?
Well, it's with a lot of gratitude, that's for certain, and appreciation. We have a lot of great colleagues around the country and around the globe, for that matter. The world became very small all of a sudden, and I think there's some value in understanding how connected we are. With a group like the HCIC, these are friends, not just colleagues. After 15 years now, I feel a part of the community. It's not just visiting a conference, it's visiting my friends, and then we're always connected in between. Times like this, we are all checking up on each other. It's not about vendors and clients, it's about people. As much as that sounds like a Hallmark special, it's really important, especially when you haven't really been outside all that much. And now that we're all starting to go outside a little bit more, there's still a new norm that we're getting used to. With that, though, the community has been very helpful in helping look at resources that, traditionally be really hard to come by. So content was made available, technology was made available, people lending their platforms, their expertise, experiences from other health systems going through the same thing, but differently, because some were on the front lines and some were yet to experience any sort of surge. And so being in South Jersey, we saw a whole lot happening just to the north. And as the north got really a lot of concern, how did that get triaged to the South Jersey, and Philadelphia being just right across the river? I live on the other side of the river, so I'm on the Pennsylvania side. And so it thins out as it goes west of Philadelphia, but it doesn't take more than 15, 20 minutes to be in a city around here. So you may think it's something out there, but it's near and dear to all of us at this point. So having this type of community has been very helpful. The resources are abundant and certainly appreciated. So it's times like these.
Absolutely. Well, I hope, Drew, that the next time I see you in person, I don't have a COVID haircut. I'm due for a cut here soon. So I'll just put that out there into the world. But it has been a pleasure, as always, to catch up with you. Stay well, stay safe, keep it up, and look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.
You well, my friend. Thank you.